Hello and welcome back to the Impression Wiz channel. I'm your host, the Impression Wiz, and today we are back with Pester Quest. After Vriska's route, I'm hoping the next route is going to be better. I just want to say that. Because we'll be going for Terezi. One of my favorite of the troll women. Actually, I think my top favorite of the troll women. Honestly, I think my top ones are Terezi, Aradia. I do like Nepeta too. And I do like the fairy. Not that I don't like Kanaya or... I really don't like Vriska, but that's kind of how she is. But... yeah. Anyway. We are going to... Terezi's today. Let me get my throat a little bit ready for this. It's a cold, breezy evening. Violet leaves crunch under your feet as you stroll casually through a dense and inviting forest. Not an environment you're used to on this planet, that's for sure. You should be lapping up the serenity like a thirsty dog, thirsty dog at a zen fountain. Instead, you're brooding. So many new friends, all of them a special breed of sad. You don't like seeing sad people, so you've done everything in your power to fix them. Slumber party, matchmaking, throwing a giant spider into a volcano. The smiles your new friends greet you with are all the proof you need that you've been doing good work. How is it that this game basically has fitted me into a paragraph? Because that's what I try to do. Not necessarily like to fix people, but to make them happy. I'm sorry, I needed a bit of a moment to, like, soak in the fact that this game basically is me in a nutshell. Okay. And yet, you can't help but wonder how much of a difference any of this really makes. Especially on Alternia. You've gathered that even if one of these kids avoids being murdered by an insectoid eugenic robot, they just wind up conscripted into a lifetime of military service under a colonial empire. Blah. Which makes it really hard to believe that inducing a few bouts of revolutionary catharsis will ultimately amount to much. It's a depressing thought. You're not entirely sure what to do with it. Which is why you came out here. Nothing better for the soul than a nature hike, right? Maybe after a nice long walk, you'll come out right as... Hey, is that a treehouse? Ouch. Okay, how to do a voice for Terezi. Ouch is right, criminal. I do apologize for how bad the voice for Terezi might end up being. I mean, I have a headcanon that a lot of people probably have of her, and I'm not going to be able to hit it. Great, more shenanigans. You won't lie and say the prospect of making friends with a spooky shark in glaring red shades isn't appealing, but criminal doesn't leave a great taste in your mouth. When you try to move, well, you don't, because you're tied to a chair. Strike 2 on the bad taste scorecard. Probably shouldn't stick around for strike 3. What's funny is I just played the other Scourge sister. Wow. I just thought about that now. Kind of weird, sorry. At the moment of uncharacteristic self-preservation, you close your eyes and attempt to zap away, but you can't. Your head hurts and your vision is still kind of hazy, which might imply brain damage on account of your surprise wanging. With your luck, that probably means your superpowers are permanently broken. Typical. Looking up at your captor again, and it's not Solix, sadly, you can't help thinking the specs are a bit extra. What kind of loser wears big angular sunglasses like that anyway? Oh, wait till we get to Dirk later.
You'd certainly be one to judge if you had the legal authority to do so. A fashionable dress like that, with blood as deliciously red as yours. The hypocrisy on you stinks like a fragrant pus.
Ooh. Gross. Geez, what's up with these aliens and their hang-ups about blood? I mean, honestly, Terezi just likes the color red, and I can't blame her. No, that's not her laugh. I'm not going to get her laugh, I'm sorry. Hang-ups. Gallows. Humor is an admirable quality. But such crowd-pleasing theatrics will not spare you from the full weight of the law. I kind of like Terezi's sprite, honestly. A bizarre tableau unfolds before you. Stuffed dragons and benches, an big angry monster, empty nose dangling, or empty noose, not nose, my bad, dangling next to a window. Possibly something coming from my nose. Maybe not. No sneeze, thank you. Looks like you've just wandered into a courtroom drama on Alternia. Much to your relief, your kidnapper isn't a shark. And you have to admit the glasses do come together in the ensemble, but is instead a short, stocky troll girl in a short-sleeved turtleneck and a pair of garish red Crocs. Oh gosh, she's wearing Crocs. I like short, stocky Terezi, though. The fashion on this one is staggering, especially with the... Is that a sword cane with a dragon head? Honestly, that's pretty cool.
It is! Because I'm blind and cool.
I mean, you are blind, but it's like...
But make no mistakes, I don't need eyes to smell how guilty you taste.
Okay, that almost sounds like 3 different things right there. Because you need your eyes to see, you use your nose to smell, and I guess taste a little bit, but then you use your tongue mostly for tasting. So... Wow, is every sentence that tumbles out of this troll's mouth going to be weird and uncomfortable?
Yes. But enough from you, Cherry Cheeks. His honorable tyranny will only tolerate so much banter before holding you in contempt.
You might be developing some contempt yourself, if you're being honest.
Well, unless you want to be squeezed until your organs burst from your eyes, you'll can the back talk and let the prosecution get to work.
I'm kind of wondering where she's pointing at, to be honest. I mean, is that what being held in contempt means? Fine. You guess you'll be polite and stop interrupting.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
I don't think that's actually a Terezi voice, but it's the closest I got. Right. Now that we have the preamble out of the way, there's a ding from her computer, and her posture immediately switches from confident to frustrated. I'd be careful with that sword, hun. I mean, it's sharp. Hold on. She strides over to her husktop, tapping the gleaming edge of her cane in front of her as she goes. You wonder what kind of miraculous accessibility contraption exists on this planet that a blind person can just use. Is she licking the monitor? I knew she was going to, but I'm glad that they actually put something that shows it. Ah. Yes, she's licking her filthy fucking computer monitor, just slathering it up with her teal-tinted saliva and going at it like a husband greeting his war wife after 20 years at sea. Why? Sorry. Give me a second. No problem, you say. Not like you're going anywhere. Haha. Tied to a chair. As I take a drink of water from a cup with ice. Okay, she's distracted. Now would be a good time to go somewhere. Your powers still seem to be on the fritz, but you think the weight of your incredible ass might shatter this chair if you could get some leverage. The things this game makes me say. I mean, it's funny sometimes, but like, why? Why? Okay, so do I wait it out or get some leverage? I honestly don't know which one is the right choice, and I don't want it to go super quick because I really like Terezi. Oh, I might. I'm gonna get some leverage. I think it's the bad choice in this, but it could be the right one. I don't know. You lean forward onto your feet, take a deep breath, and then hop backwards as hard as you can. It worked! You scramble up from the broken chair as your captor turns towards you. What the fuck? Trying to say that in Terezi is not going to be easy. You turn to run, but the rope still around your legs has other plans. As you trip, you try to catch your weight falling, and just sort of let the momentum of your vaudevillian tumble carry you across the room. You slam into your captor and send both of you flying out the window. Oh, this is way higher up than you thought. You grab onto her and pray for dear life. Hey, you're not falling. That's a relief. You congratulate your agile friend on her quick reflexes and grabbing hold of... Oh no. You've heard of a hungiri, but this is ridiculous. No! No! I knew it was going to be a bad ending, but I didn't want to do that. I'm so sorry, Terezi. I'm so sorry. Well, you know what I'm going to be doing. Wait it out, because I am not going to have Terezi hung like that. That is not going to be her end. And apologies really quick as I, check really quick. Wait it out. You decide it's best to wait this out, so we don't kill Terezi. The sword and the noose are a bit worrying, but with the plush toys and chalk drawings, it strikes you as this is probably the closest thing Alternia has to a tea party. Which would be adorable if it weren't so depressing. Depressing. Playing along seems like a prime friend-making activity. Besides, whoever got hurt in a court of law I mean, on Alternia, I think a lot of people have. But, and I can't preface this enough, Terezi will survive this, I hope. After a few, brisk keystrokes, she strolls back to her place in the center of the room. Not a word in half a sweep, and now she won't shut up. You ask who she's talking to. Just some dumb, angry girl who needs to leave me alone until the heat death of the universe? Who even cares anyway? Not me, that's who. I mean, I think that was Vriska then. Where were we? I'm sorry, that wasn't in voice. Where were we? Okay, that's confusing. She uses E's, but then she also uses 3s for E's. Crimes? Crimes! You're here today to face the height justice under my authority as Premier League affiliated legislator or legislacerator blah, 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 in training of His Honorable Tyranny's court. And it is with said authority that I accuse you of that most grievous of crimes against the empire of her imperious condescension. Oh, sorry, I needed a drink. That voice is starting to wear a little bit. Uh-oh. What crimes would that be? Would that possibly be? Breaking and entering? Doping with a clown? Oh yeah, motherfucker. You guess she could technically nail you down as an accomplice to murder, but the crime of existing. Is that a crime? What? You're waiting for the other shoe to drop, but the damn thing just seems to be stuck up there. What did she say about being in training? You're beginning to wonder if this is, what did she call it? Solicitor, procutioner, public dexterpidist. You're beginning to wonder if this is if this murder lawyer actually knows what the hell she's talking about. You think I'm making this up? Do I really look like the kind of girl who would randomly commit unprompted and unjustified murder on a whim? Look, you've met some weird fucking trolls on this planet, and they all seem to have a pretty lazy flare attitude about murder, so no. You know what? Fine. If you're gonna be a pedantic, snot-nubbed little wriggler about it, I'll just recite this whole fucking law verbatim. Blah. It's hard to read and late, just to be honest. Article 5, subsection 11, paragraph 68. I kind of wish I had Vriska, because it would have been the actual 8. Of the second new codes of Alternian justice describes your crime as... having been, or possessing the capacity to be in need of material resources consumption for those purposes of curtailing biological explory existing in, of, around, or throughout imperial territory as one of unclassifiable mutation of one of Exalter's original or orientation, alien, or one who
to commit has committed or may possess the capacity to commit high crimes and fresh demeanor against her imperial condescension. Condescension. Ugh. Criminal. There, happy now?
Dang, this girl really knows her stuff. And I don't, because I think I messed a lot of those terminologies up. Please, I apologize for that.
Of course I do. I'm not some flyby lunar cycle troll slaughter consultant. I'm a fucking professional.
Clearly, how could you question her expertise on the subject of what is and is not technically a crime when there's so many books piled up haphazardly? You definitely are existing as an alien after all, and you guess that does by definition make you a criminal. And from the looks of that noose, you doubt the punishment is something as quaint as being thrown in the slammer. So is there an appeals process, or... She springs forward with a surprising agility and presses her face right up against yours, sniffing you with alarming enthusiasm.
Your game of candid apple ignorance may convince the pan-scrambled clown fuckers in the cheap seats, but I smell the deception dripping off you like a delicious marmalade. You'll have to do better than this if you really want to.
How is that so sore in, like, a weird spot of my throat? I know where it hurts in Gamsies, it's just all over, but right, like, there's just a tiny little pinprick that she seems to do. At least with the voice I found for her. She sniffs.
Want to...
She sniffs again.
Did Kanaya make this dress?
Oh, look. An out. Yeah, you say. You and her are great friends. The best, in fact. In fact, you think she should message to Kanaya right now to clear all this up. You know, like a character witness?
I've witnessed your character plenty, and it's as bland as they come.
That's certainly not the worst contemptive noise you've heard before.
I may have misjudged you.
Straight face.
If you tell anyone I said that, I'm going to cut off your arms and use them to finger paint bulges on your face until you bleed to death.
Are you going to do it in my own blood, too? You decide that keeping this pointlessly mundane secret is definitely in your best interest. So, does this mean you're free to go?
Not so fast. May have implies possibility, not certainly. Maybe Kanaya gave you this dress because she likes you, or maybe you pressured her into circumstancity, or blah, 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 blah. A word I cannot pronounce and is already gone, and I'm skipping over it. Maybe you're a delightfully clueless and well-intentioned interloper from beyond the stars. Or maybe you were sent here as a sleeper agent to learn all our weaknesses so that the entities controlling you can sabotage our future. In cases such as these, I find the best course of action is to leave the verdict up to chance.
Oh boy, here we go, the coin. She produces a double-headed coin with one side scratched out, and you immediately know exactly where this is going.
The terms are simple.
I think I'm almost turning into Hoggle now.
Heads, and I release you from your bonds. Tails, and I release you from being alive.
Is she really about to take you out like a gangster who just betrayed her duality-themed mob boss? I mean, I kind of like the duality part of things, to be honest. Two-Face is kind of one of my favorite villains. Although I also like the Riddler. Oh well. before you can request a less Saturday morning cartoon solution, she flips the coin into the air. Well, this is bad. It's bad, and it kind of makes you angry. What's also really bad is, no matter what side ends up, she doesn't see it anyway, so a lot of good it's gonna do. Okay, that sounded a lot like, Ace Attorney. This doesn't make sense. You didn't do anything, but you're here. But here you are with a 50-50 chance of getting murked by a jovial gremlin. Murked by a jovial gremlin anyway. Gremlin. Oh, does she think this is normal? Your head has cleared enough that you could zap away if you really tried, but something about this murder lawyer is stuck in your craw. Her devotion to justice is obvious. But it's a twisted and brutal justice, streamlined for violence and painfully efficient in enabling exactly that. If this mock trial is anything to go by, this is the same system that requires insectoid robots to keep the peace, after all. There's so much wrong here, and she doesn't even see it. Literally. Like, metaphorically see it. Okay, thank you. But she literally can't see it either, but we're going to leave that joke there. The coin is falling. Every rotation brings you closer to a fate that, regardless of outcome, wouldn't be fair. You decide to think about what should be fair. Just like that, you're standing next to her with its scream and snatch her coin out of the air and hurl it full force through the window. My coin! Sorry, you shout, but she can't expect you to just accept the whims of chance when your life is on the line. Why not? Because that sucks. It's lame and dumb and really cliche. What is she, a comic book villain? Am I supposed to know what that is? You don't know? Troll culture seems to have a lot of really arbitrary similarities to human culture, and it's honestly very confusing, but that's besides the point. With a broad sweep of your arm, you gesture at her drawing of the Honorable Tyrannosaurus, or whatever, and ask what he would think of your little stunt just now. Pfft. The trial isn't for him. We act like it is, but everyone knows he's just a big, hungry monster. Huh? Then who? It's for the audience, obviously. By the time you make it to the stand, you're basically dead already. Don't the accused get a chance to defend themselves? Defend? Only the outrageously guilty would ever think so. Think to defend themselves in a court of law. Wow, that's fucked up. What's the point of even having a trial then? Besides the sheer pleasure of watching all the hopes slowly drain from someone's eyes as they confront their imminently approaching and inevitable gruesome execution? Yeah, besides that. It's a warning to the I'm not going to even try. Of what? It's a warning to everyone that's going to cross the line. I can't read that with what it is. And that line is, existing? Yep. The nonchalance of her answer underlines just how upsetting all of this really is. You remember the law she recited, and one part in particular sticks out to you. Unclassifiably I can't even read it when it's not in Leet. Sanguination. Didn't Karkat try to commiserate with you about having mutant blood or something? You know Karkat too? I keep waiting for him to fuss about them leaders. About team leaders, but now he won't shut up about his thing he calls a Dave. Everyone was so worried up about the game, and now they're just over it suddenly. Yeah, that's your fault. Karkat would probably have a nuclear conniption if he knew you were about to say this, but you ask her if she's aware of his blood color.
Of course I'm aware of it! What do you think I am, blind?
Yes. Karkat's a mutant, right? If you remember correctly, that makes him guilty of the same crime you are. Her expression turns sour, and you can tell that this is something she spent a lot of time trying not to think about. You figure she avoided similar executing you because you're friends with her friends, so she would probably avoid killing Karkat as well. And that's a good thing. Great, in fact. You cannot stress enough how awesome that is. But doesn't that strike her as a bit hypocritical, making exceptions for her friends? Does she think that everyone who dies at court or gets culled in their own hives deserves what they get, just because she doesn't know them personally?
It doesn't matter what I think. This is just how things are. It sucks, but it would suck a lot worse to be killed for saying so. And then who would protect Karkat? Who would protect... Sad face. I can't help everyone. Cherry cheeks. I can barely help my friends. Maybe if I stick to it long enough, I can change things from the inside. That's the best any of us can hope for. You guess that doesn't sound like the worst plan. In fact, it kind of reminds you of who? You feel a sadness well up in your heart, so fast and heavy that it knocks you over into her, and without meaning to you. Zap! Your vision is swimming, voices echo in your head, but you can't pick any of them out. You look around and something is watching you. Not maliciously, not yet. Just observing from a curious distance. Not that you can do anything about it while you're clutching your head and trying to put your memories together. Please mind me while I take a little drink so I can continue. You've been circling around this awful familiar feeling ever since you left Earth, drawn towards it like a singularity. But the closer you get, the less it makes sense. What the fuck just happened? Did you kill me just now? Is this troll hell? Troll hell? Do trolls not even actually have a name for... actual name for... Wait, she's here too? Here? Seems like an ambiguous description. It's more of an ambiguous nexus of metaphysical realities. That's an awfully specific description. Has she been here before? No, but I've tasted places like this in my dreams. Great, even more shenanigans. You look around and try to get your bearings, but nothing seems to be in focus. It's all too low resolution. Simultaneously too bright and too dark to make sense of it. Yeah? You okay over there, Cherry Cheeks? Okay, I like the nickname Cherry Cheeks. Your blood smells really loud right now. You wouldn't know how to react to that, even if you weren't having a memory-induced thought seizure. The pieces are too far apart and you can't quite put it together, but you remember friends? Bits of memories hit you, suddenly flashes of joy, of violence. Smiling faces, crying faces, bodies, plans. Hope that the world could be made into a better place. What the fuck are you mumbling about? If you fried your think pan, at least let me in on it so I can participate. You tell her what you can remember, which isn't much. Friends, sadness, dissatisfaction, people who were deeply unhappy with the state of Alternia and faced violence from all sides, just as your new friends do today. Some of them wanted to change it from the inside, and you remember believing that they could. But you get the sense that a lot of time has passed between now and then.
And it doesn't seem like Alternia has gotten much better. In fact, it may have gotten worse. It seems like whatever it was your friends tried to do, they failed.
Of course they did!
What does she mean by that?
Even in the context of your nonsense time-traveling... amnesiatic cover story, it's not hard to believe. Compelling idiots have good ideas all the time. That doesn't change the fact that there's idiots. Which is why I'm going to succeed where everyone else had their entrails ripped out by a swarm of drones and died like... I wasn't done reading that. Died like scrubs they were. I am many things, Cherry Cheeks. An idiot isn't one of them. She flashes a bright and pointy smile, filled with a confidence that you believe with every atom in your body. And I really need to check and see how long this episode is gone, and I'm actually going to go ahead and save it here, because it seems like we have a lot more talking in Teresi's than choices. So I think we're getting into a lot of story stuff, so I think I'm going to pause it here for now. But let me read this first, because I don't know if I read it first. But you're pretty sure she's not the first person to make you feel that way. Idiots or not, the friends you used to have were just as sure of themselves as she is now. We'll continue this conversation next time, though, because it seems like she's getting into some really nitty-gritty story stuff in her route. Not a lot of choices, just a lot of plot. So, and I don't want to overload one video with all of that and make it too long. So, I guess I'll say, for keep in mind next time, that we're talking to Rezi about pretty much the changes that she is trying to enact, and how she might actually succeed over how the ones in FriendSim failed. But we will continue that conversation next time. I want to thank you guys for watching. If you liked it, please put a like on the video. If you want to see more of my content, please subscribe and ring that notification bell so you don't miss anything I upload. And as always, I will see you tomorrow.